All right, happy Saturday, everyone. Happy weekend. Okay, today's video, we're looking ahead to next season, and this is going to be the first of three videos that I'm doing on various Saturdays, focusing on three new teams. Of course, we have Topeka, we have the Indiana Sentinels, and the PD Ice Cats, which, yes, they have a fair amount of players from the HC Venom roster, but again, they are a separate new entity. So we're going to focus on each of those, and we'll also on Sunday we'll be talking about the hockey history in these communities. So tomorrow we'll be talking about previous hockey in Topeka, just to kind of give you an idea of what the community is like as far as the hockey environment. Okay, but today we are starting off again, three-part series, I guess. Not exactly a series, because we're going to break it up. But yeah, we're going to focus on Topeka today. The secret of their success, or hopefully, unlike these guys. Yeah, don't be these guys. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we're going to focus on Topeka here. So, what do they need to do to be successful? Well, they've already kind of started operations. Of course, they were announced back in March as far as that they would be joining the FPHL officially for this upcoming season. And so already they got some hirings, they've got people involved, they've got stuff going on with the community already. So they've already made a list and they've already checked off some boxes. So that's a good start for them. So let's talk about where they are right now. First of all, of course, they hired Robbie Nichols, very familiar with the Fed. And one of the most important qualities for being a coach in the FPHL is your ability to network, to build relationships. And Robbie Nichols has already done that in the time that he was in Elmira with the Enforcers. He knows the league, he knows the personnel, and he also knows some contacts for recruiting purposes, for bringing players in. And those are very important. You've got someone who, even though Robbie hasn't officially coached since when he was with Elmira, he's got the experience, and he does have coaching experience in other leagues as well. So he's been a coach for quite a while. This is just his first full-time coaching gig in the FPHL. All right, so that was a big important step that the team took. Again, knowing how to get in touch with people, build relationships, to foster relationships, to maintain relationships, all very, very important in this level of hockey. All right, they've been very active already, the team that is, Topeka, as far as building up some corporate support, getting some sponsorships, already going out into the community and meeting with people and letting them know, hey, we got a pro hockey team. It's been a while since we've had since we've had hockey here. We're here. Come and join us. Have some fun this fall. So they've been doing that. They've been working on their marketing. They've been very successful in that regards. So Topeka is very, very receptive to the new team coming in. And so that is very important. And then as far as how they'll be performing on the ice, they drafted very well. Again, Robbie Nichols knew the type of players that he was looking for, and he was able to find them. And get a good core uh, together with your roster. Now, Topeka has yet to sign anyone officially, except for Justin Schmidt. He is signed, but everyone else still needs to sign. Now, the fact that they haven't yet is not a big deal. Players need to kind of get their things in order on their end. Say, okay, Topeka chose me. Is this a good fit? Is this something that's going to be beneficial for my career? If so, yeah, let's sign a contract. Um, and that takes some time. Players need to have a little bit of time to talk things over with family and friends, think things over, analyze what they want to accomplish in their career. Have they, maybe they still have some goals that they still want to reach. Um, all those are things to consider. So, again, the fact that they have not signed a player yet, other than Justin Schmidt, is not a big deal. July and August, you're going to see a lot of signings. So, and by the way, just to refer you to Thursday's Fed League Flash on the Flash Audio Network, I talked about what it means when it says sign PTO. It's not necessarily a tryout. What this is they're signing, saying, yes, I recognize, in this case, Topeka holds my rights. I'm going to commit to coming to camp, trying to earn a spot. And so basically, a PTO is basically just an agreement that, okay, yeah, I plan on being with Topeka. So you're not going to see regular contracts signed until much later in the year. That will probably come at the end of September, early October. That's when players will sign an actual contract. So, again, no big deal at this point. All right. This is just a sample of, based on who they drafted and who is listed on their roster, players that Topeka holds the rights to. What might their lineup look like on the ice? Well, I think they're off to a pretty good start. Now, they only have one goaltender chosen so far. That's Sammy Bernard. But they're going to be looking for another goaltender, whether it be via recruitment or a trade or some way. They're gonna bring in other guys for the goaltending position. The defense. I just put down 4 names. Now they I did not list Gordon Whalen, and that was not a diss on him. Just I think these are probably your top 4 defensemen here. You got Jacob Gagnon, who played with the Dashers and then played in the SP for a while. You got Doug Blaisdell. He's got both Fed and SP experience. Alex Nowinski, he developed into a very good shutdown defenseman in Blue Ridge just last year. And then Jordan Gagnon, who played in Carolina. Plus, you got Gordon Whalen, also from Carolina. So that's a good, solid defensive core. I don't think it's going to wow anybody, but I think it's very solid. It shows a commitment just with the names and what we've seen them do so far. It shows a commitment to play smart in your own zone. Take care of the puck in your own zone and move the puck up and let the offense take over. Which the offense, now, this is just a sample of what I think, if these players all sign, and I think they will, what their lineup might look like. On the top line, you've got a Motor City connection. You got Scotty Koash. Of course, he was with Monroe last year, but previous to that, he was in Motor City. You got TJ Sneath and Eli Rivers. These guys are very familiar with each other. So I think they would make a very potent first line. Second line, I'm looking at Chris Mott in the center, between Carter Thompson, excellent on short-handed kills, very speedy, big physical presence, and Ross Bartlett. He can also throw his weight around, and he's got a good scoring touch as well. Both Thornton and Bartlett do. And if they have somebody setting them up like Mott, who sees the ice very well, that could be a great second line. And then the third line, kind of a grinder line. You got Jacob Wolf in the middle between Dan Chartrand and Trivigay Medigans. I think that would be a pretty solid lineup. Again, this is just hypothetical at this point. This is just me seeing, okay, who's on the roster. If I'm putting together a group of guys to put on the ice, this might be what I'm looking at. I think that's a very solid roster right there. It shows some scoring depth, shows a lot of muscle as well, which is very important to Robbie Nichols. He wants the team to be very tough to play against. Basically, his position is, we want you to hate coming to Topeka to play us because we're going to give you hell. Not fisticuffs necessarily, but just a physical, demanding game. So I think this is a good roster to accomplish that. All right. So what are some things that they still have to look at? Some challenges that they face? Well, this is something that you're just going to have to overcome as you go through it. Travel. Obviously, Topeka's on an island, so to speak, in the Fed footprint. They're out there. Closest team is Indiana, 8.5 hours away. We talked about that a few videos ago. So that's going to be very tough. First of all, they're going to be forced to spend a little bit more in travel costs than another team that has a few opponents in a pretty close geographical circle. It's going to be costly to, do all that traveling. It's tiring. Now, Topeka has a brand new sleeper bus, which, if you don't know, the difference between that and, say, a regular Greyhound style bus is that instead of seats, you've got actual beds that the players can rest in. You're going to get more rest in a bed than you're going to get sitting in a seat. So that's very important. So that's going to help. But still, when you're on the road, 10 hours, 11 hours, 12 and a half hours, it's going to be tough to ride that bus and then, okay, we're at the arena, let's get up and go. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a challenge. So home ice is going to be very, very important. We'll talk about that in a minute. Wear and tear, especially on the bus itself. Buses, even newer buses, they break down. They require a lot of maintenance. So with the mileage that Topeka is going to be putting on the bus in their first year, that's going to be a challenge. The other challenge, I think, is the pressure to win now. And yes, there is pressure, especially being that they're so isolated. It's going to be very important for the team to be good right out of the gate. Now, we've seen in the last few years, Fed teams typically struggle in their first year. However, Motor City broke that trend. And their first year, they did very well. Binghamton, their first year, they did well, had a winning record. Both teams went to the playoffs and made some noise. I think Topeka can do that. The pressure is definitely there, though, that they've got to do it. With how tough road games are going to be because of that travel factor, home games are going to be all the more important. So they've got to be a top-notch club on home ice, especially. So they're going to be looking to take advantage of that. The other um, consideration here is, yeah, playoff aspirations. If Topeka can make the playoffs in their first year, I think that's going to do a lot for building excitement in the community for the club, because it invariably, it always happens when there is a new team in a market, especially when that team has that community, excuse me, has had hockey in the past. A lot of people might take a wait and see attitude, but if they see we're going towards middle February, end of February, and the team's in third or fourth place, that might generate a lot of excitement. If they have a winning record, they're winning more than they're losing. Well, that might be the thing that brings people to the rink, to Landon Arena, to take in a game. So, winning early, that's going to be a good recipe for success. It's going to help bring people in through the turnstiles, help sell tickets. There already is a lot of excitement, but I think you can only help yourself by putting a good product on the ice. Last year, Monroe, they didn't make the playoffs, but they were a very competitive team. And I think that fact helped them with drawing such an amazing attendance number day in and day out. People wanted to see this team because they knew, the product on the ice was good. So it wasn't good enough to make the playoffs, but they were very competitive, and it really wasn't until the very end of the season that they fell out and didn't qualify for the playoffs. So obviously, the more you win, everybody likes a winner. The more you win, the better you're going to do. So my first impression of the Scarecrows is, I think that they have taken the right steps to this point. I think they've done the right things. I think they've helped themselves as an organization. So, can they make the playoffs? On paper, I think so. I think so. It's going to be a very, very competitive Empire division this next year. You don't have the dashers around, the kick around anymore. Um, I'm looking at things. Indiana might have a little bit of a rough start. We'll talk about them in a couple weeks, but I they're not going to be horrible. I don't think so. Yeah, Topeka's got a good shot, I think, at making the playoffs. So there we go. All right, let me know what you think. Are you excited about seeing Topeka, whether you're out there in Kansas or not? Maybe you're in Danbury and you just want to tune in the YouTube or whatever streaming platform to watch Topeka play. Are you excited about them? Are you ready to go? See what they can do? Let me know. Make a comment down below. Also, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Flash Audio Network, all that good stuff. All right. Tomorrow, again, we will talk about the history of hockey in Topeka, and then we'll get ready for another week. Don't forget, big news on Monday as PD announces their head coach, some staff members, and some player signings as well. All right. Thank you for watching. I'm Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash, and we will see you tomorrow.